Hello and welcome to everyone watching the Written in Melanin channel. Wherever this day may have found you, I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Chelsea, better known as CM Lockhart, and I'm here to bring some melanin to your pages. And this is a Melanin Awareness video, created to help make you aware of some amazing books written by Black authors. The books in this list are the books featured on the Melanin Chat from January 11th to February 8th of 2022. And all of the books mentioned in this video can be found on the Melanin Library website, an online database of books written by Black authors. It's sorted by genre and is constantly growing, so if there are any books you want to see added to the site, feel free to submit them to us. There's a place to do that on the homepage. That being said, let's get into this. As I mentioned before, the books on this list are from the Melanin Chat, which airs every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and click the notification button so you don't miss when we go live. Now that you've done that, we're going to go ahead and get into this list, and the first book on it is Hollywood Homicide by Kelly Garrett. Hollywood Homicide is an adult mystery written by Kelly Garrett, and the summary for it reads, actress Dana Anderson's deadly new role, homicide detective. Dana Anderson doesn't set out to solve a murder. All the semi-famous mega-broke actress wants is to help her parents keep their house. So, after witnessing a deadly hit-and-run, she pursues the $15,000 reward. But Dana soon finds herself doing a full-on investigation, wanting more than just money. She wants justice for the victim. She chases down leads at paparazzi hotspots, celeb homes, and movie premieres, loving every second of it, until someone tries to kill her. And there are no second takes in real life. If this book sounds interesting to you, like all the books on this list, you can check the description box below to click on the link and grab a copy of it. On to the second book. The second book on this list is Quiet Voice, Fearless Leader by Terrence Lee, 10 Principles for Introverts to Awaken Their Leader Inside. This is a self-help book for adults, and the summary from the book reads, introverts are too quiet and too weak to lead. Have you ever thought this before? What type of person comes to mind when you think of an introvert, and what type of person comes to mind when you think of a leader? The two words are rarely linked together. Society often labels people with introverted personalities as at least one of the following: quiet, shy, reserved, or timid. While at the same time, leaders are described as dominant, passionate, outgoing, and ambitious. But what if society has it all wrong? Quiet Voice, Fearless Leader was written to challenge the misperception held by many that introverts cannot lead. Throughout this book, not only will that myth be disproven, but in fact, the case is made that an introvert in many cases is the ideal leader. Within each chapter lies a core leadership principle along with multiple pillars that, when mastered, will change your life forever. Topics include how introverts can add value to any room, how to grow confidence as a public speaker, how to effectively lead teams as an introvert, how introverts can establish presence at work and in business, how to make difficult decisions as a leader, and much more. If you have ever doubted yourself or ever thought that you had to be extroverted to be successful, then this book was made with you in mind. It's time to awaken the leader inside, because the truth is, your introversion is your superpower. Book number 3 on this list is One of the Good Ones by, and I hope I'm saying their names right. If I'm not, please forgive me, Micah Moonlight and Maritza Moonlight. This is a young adult fiction book, and the summary from the book reads, when teen social activist and history buff Kezzie Smith is killed under mysterious circumstances after attending a social justice rally, her devastated sister Happy and their family are left reeling in the aftermath. As Kezzie becomes another immortalized victim in the fight against police brutality, Happy begins to question the idealized way her sister is remembered: perfect, angelic, one of the good ones. Even as the phrase rings wrong in her mind, why are only certain people deemed worthy to be missed? Happy and her sister Jenny embark on a journey to honor Kezzie in their own way, using an heirloom copy of the Negro Motorist Green Book as their guide. But there's a twist to Kezzie's story that no one could have ever expected, one that will change everything all over again. The next book on this list is A Comb of Wishes by Lisa Stringfellow, and this is a sci-fi fantasy for middle grade readers. And the summary from the back of the book reads, ever since her mother's death, Keela feels every bit as broken as the shards of glass, known as mermaid's tears, that sparkle on the Caribbean beaches of St. Rita. So when Keela and her friend Lissy stumble across an ancient-looking comb in a coral cave, with all she's already lost, Keela can't help but bring home her very own found treasure. Far away, deep in the cold ocean, the mermaid Ophelia can feel that her comb has been taken. And despite her hatred of all humans, her magic requires that she make a bargain, the comb in exchange for a wish. But what Kila wants most is for her mother to be alive, and a wish that big will exact an even bigger price. Next up is Called by the Blessed by Jolly Henry. This is an urban fiction sci-fi fantasy for young adults, and the summary reads, "If she fails, her sisters will die, demons will take over the world, and she'll get trapped in hell for eternity. So, no pressure then." Impoverished orphan Naledi struggles to raise her younger sisters in rural Africa. Her life already sucks, but when she manifests the rare ability to open portals through time and space, her life gets a whole lot more complicated. Will learning to harness her powers piss off God and land her in hell? Now, a couple of archangels want Naledi to use her powers to spy on hell and stop a demon Armageddon. Spies who are caught on Earth get tortured, so imagine how badly spies who are caught in actual hell get tortured. If you love feisty heroines, gut-wrenching emotion, sweet romance, and explosive endings, you'll love this book. Entry number 6 on this list is My Sister the Serial Killer by Onyinkan Braithwaite. I hope I said her name right. And this is a fiction crime book for adults, and the summary reads, Korede's sister Ayula is many things. The favorite child, the beautiful one, possibly sociopathic. And now Ayula's third boyfriend in a row is dead, stabbed through the heart with Ayula's knife. Korede's practicality is the sister's saving grace. She knows the best solutions for cleaning blood, bleach, and more bleach, the best way to move a body, wrap it in sheets like a mummy, and she keeps Ayula from posting pictures to Instagram when she should be mourning her quote-unquote missing boyfriend. Not that she gets any credit. Korede has long been in love with the kind, handsome doctor at the hospital where she works. She dreams of the day when he will realize that she's exactly what he needs. But when he asks Korede for Ayula's phone number, she must reckon with what her sister has become and how far she's willing to go to protect her. I've personally read this book and can vouch for it, so I highly recommend that you pick this one up. But on to the next book. The next book on this list is Blood Scion by Deborah Fillet, and this is a sci-fi fantasy for young adult readers. And the summary reads, This is what they deserve. They wanted me to be a monster. I will be the worst monster they ever created. 15-year-old Sloane can incinerate any enemy at will. She is a Scion, a descendant of the ancient Orisha gods. Under the Lucis' brutal rule, her identity means her death if her powers are discovered. But when she is forcibly conscripted into the Lucis army on her 15th birthday, Sloane sees a new opportunity to overcome the bloody challenges of Lucis training and destroy them from within. Following one girl's journey of magic, injustice, power, and revenge, Deborah Fillet's debut novel, inspired by Yoruba Nigerian mythology, is a magnetic combination of children of blood and bone and an ember in the ashes. The next book on this list is You Truly Assumed by Layla Sabrine. And this is a multicultural book that focuses on the topics of racism and prejudice. And this is for young adults and new adults, so in that upper teenage range. The summary from the book reads, In this compelling and thought-provoking debut novel, after a terrorist attack rocks the country and anti-Islamic sentiment stirs, 3 Black Muslim girls create a space where they can shatter assumptions and share truths. Sabria has her whole summer planned out in color-coded glory. But those plans go out the window after a terrorist attack near her home. When the terrorist is assumed to be Muslim and Islamophobia grows, Sabria turns to her online journal for comfort. You Truly Assumed was never meant to be anything more than an outlet, but the blog goes viral as fellow Muslim teens around the country flock to it and find solace and a sense of community. Soon, 2 more teens, Zakat and Farah, join Bree to run You Truly Assumed, and the 3 quickly form a strong friendship. But as the blog's popularity grows, so do the pushback and hateful comments. When one of them is threatened, the search to find out who is behind it all begins, and their friendship is put to the test when all 3 must decide whether to shut down the blog and lose what they've worked for, or take a stand and risk everything to make their voices heard. The next book on this list is Required Reading for the Disenfranchised Freshman by Kristen R. Lee. And this is a book about racism and privilege on college campuses, written for young adult and new adult audiences. And the summary reads, a striking debut novel about racism on elite college campuses. Fans of Dear White People will embrace this activist-centered contemporary novel about a college freshman grappling with the challenges of attending an elite university with a disturbing racist history, which may not be as distant as it seems. Savannah Howard sacrificed her high school social life to make sure she got into a top college. Her sights were set on an HBCU, but when she's accepted to the ivy-covered walls of Wooddale University on a full ride, how could she say no? Wooddale is far from the perfectly manicured community it sells on its brochures, though. Savannah has barely unpacked before she comes face to face with microaggressions stemming from racism and elitism. Then, Clive Wilmington's statue is vandalized with blackface. The prime suspect? Lucas Cunningham, Wooddale's most popular student and a son of a local prominent family. Soon, Savannah is unearthing secrets of Wooddale's racist history. But what's the price for standing up for what is right? And will telling the truth about Wooddale's past cost Savannah her own future? And last on this list, but certainly not least, is my own book, We Are the Origin by C.M. Lockhart. And this is a new adult sci-fi fantasy. The summary reads, she was a shadow. Forced into a life of serving the queendom before she was old enough to deny them, Brandy was a cultivator of death and the queen's own blade, reserved only for the disloyal and the blasphemous. Crafted by the queendom and forged in blood, she was nothing more than a tool. She was never meant to have an opinion on whose blood she shed, never meant to question whose back she was pressed into or whose throat she was slipped across. She was destruction. But when Freya, the goddess of life and judger of souls, demands that she protect rather than destroy, Brandy has no choice but to obey her new orders. And while abandoning the queendom comes with its own set of problems, being hunted by the people she once called family is the least of her worries when the gods reveal to her an enemy who exists beyond the reach of their power. So, with the helpless princess in tow, she begins her search for a way to fight this impossible enemy and save the realm from destruction. Because she is the wrath of the gods, and it was foolish for anyone to forget that. Alright you guys, that is it for this video. There are links for all the books mentioned in the description box below, or you can head straight to melaninlibrary.com and explore the site for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications. This lets the algorithm gods know that you want more content like this. If you'd like to support the Melanin Library to ensure it continues to exist as a resource, consider signing up for our Patreon or making a one-time donation. All the money goes to supporting and improving the Melanin Library, and we wouldn't have made it this far without the wonderful patrons who support us every month. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, may all your books be full of melanin.